What happens when you're in control of your finances, your career, and your well-being? There's no limit to what you can achieve. I'm your host, JaeVic, bringing you on a journey through finance, fitness, and finesse, a podcast about developing your 8 dimensions of wellness. If you're looking to elevate your wealth, well-being, and discover the power of balance, join me bi-weekly, Mondays and Fridays, to learn why money matters, but wellness counts. Hey finessers! Welcome back to another episode of Fitness Finesse Fridays, where we blend the best of wellness and wealth to help you elevate your life. I'm your host, JaeVic, and today we're building our understanding of how our money identity changes as we age. We're going to explore the concept of money from multiple angles, looking at how our childhood, self-identity, personal values, and societal expectations all shape our financial behaviors. Let's get into it. In case you didn't know, July 1st was Financial Freedom Day, but just like my birthday month in April, the entire month of July is being claimed as Financial Independence and Freedom Month. I want you guys to know the difference between financial independence and financial freedom. These terms are often used interchangeably, but they actually have their own meanings. Financial independence correlates with having enough wealth and resources to cover your living expenses without relying on a traditional 9-to-5 job. It means reaching a point where you have the financial stability and security to have control over your time and choices. Sounds nice, right? Honestly, I don't usually care much about status, but financial independence is definitely something I'm aiming for. As we work together towards this goal, of course, adopting a mindset of self-reliance and self-awareness can help us make more intentional choices. Now, financial freedom goes a step beyond financial independence. It empowers us to live life on our own terms that align with our values and passions as we free ourselves from financial limitations. This is why I'm such a big advocate of self-awareness and holistic health, both for my clients and myself. Knowing what we truly want is not easy, and self-exploration can certainly be tough. But creating the life we want requires a deep understanding of your values, goals, and dreams. We need to be aware of how those can change based on our circumstances, who's involved in our life, and also as we age. Whether it's spending more time with family, pursuing a passion, taking a leap to move somewhere, start a new job, start a business, making a positive impact on the world, financial freedom helps us focus on what truly matters to us. I've learned in order to reach financial independence and freedom, I need to make financial decisions that match my personal values and goals. But what are personal values if I don't know myself? What's my money identity? Is my identity fixed, or can it keep changing? When does our money outlook start forming? It all starts when we're young, whether you grew up poor or as a trust fund baby. Money isn't just a number or a dirty piece of paper that we crumple up into our wallet. It's an expression of your dreams, beliefs, experiences, fears. It's tied to the resources we had growing up. It's more connected to our self-identity than you might think. Our starting point dictates a lot, but it doesn't define our entire journey. We don't have to stay stuck in what we know. And I have to be honest with you, pursuing the unknown is uncomfortable, but it's necessary for real change. We all start life with a different hand to play, and it's not necessarily something we can control. You don't choose where you're born or who you're born to. Those who set themselves apart figure out how to leverage their situation to their advantage. As we try to figure out the different routes we can take to change our current lifestyle, you have to be cautious of analysis paralysis. I've struggled with it myself and am still learning to overcome it. We live in the information era, and there can be so many options to explore that you can find yourself drowning in the information. It can be very overwhelming. It is overwhelming. But do your research, utilize resources by having discussions with different people, listening to podcasts, find the most commonalities and similarities of the information that you're finding so you can develop your own self-strategies. Beyond the intimidations of that first step, remember that starting is the most important step. Even if you're super confused, you just gotta take those little wins where you're proud of yourself for even looking into the information. When faced with multiple tasks you have to get done during the day, start by tackling the easiest one first and get it done. Whether we realize it or not, how we're raised plays a huge role in how we make decisions as adults. The US might be one of the richest countries in the world, but economists say that at least half of Americans won't have enough saved to maintain their lifestyle in retirement. I'm pretty sure that the Social Security system won't even really exist how it is in 60 years when I retire, which would place me at 83? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they moved the retirement age to up to 83 by that point. A University of Michigan study recently discovered that kids as young as 5 already show distinct emotional reactions to spending and saving money, which later influences their actual spending behaviors. So, sounds like our money habits start forming pretty early on. As you listen to this episode, place yourself in different moments of your life. If you grew up in a household where money was always tight, you might overspend as an adult to make up for that childhood deprivation. In contrast, if your parents were big spenders, you might feel entitled to that rich lifestyle, even if your income can't support it. Maybe your mother was dependent on financial support from partners, which could cause you to expect financial rescue from a partner as an adult. Or perhaps your parents divorced, and that experience might make you rush into major life decisions to find that happy ending. Our childhood experiences, good and bad, the trauma of it, can risk financial instability and stress that we may attribute to only depression or anxiety, but it could actually be linked to several events that we were exposed to as we aged. And let's not forget the impact of parents who never talked about money, which is the majority. This leaves their kids financially clueless and prone to making mistakes. Those mistakes make us avoidant and intimidated by money in general. You may have been so sheltered that once you reach adulthood and you actually have to face money, that makes it extra scary because you don't know what to do with it. You've been completely taken care of your entire life. Understanding our roots helps us take ownership and make conscious efforts to change them, no matter what the issue is. So don't just blame mom, dad, or the system for your money mistakes and naiveness. Understand them, and then let's work to change them. If you're not sure where to start with reflecting on your financial beginnings without seeing a therapist, try talking to your partner, a friend, or a family member that you trust about their money story, and also express yours. Express what your interpretation has been of money as you've grown up. Talk about what they learned about money as they aged, why they think money may be important or not important, and how they manage their own finances. It takes courage to lean on your community and be that friend that others can turn to for candid money talk. You don't have to be an expert to talk about money. To build a financially literate society and a strong money strategy, we need to work together to make talking about money as casual as talking about sex is in our culture. Money and possessions begin to take on meaning as early as 3 years old. Think about something you love buying or spending time on as a kid. For me, it was Mario Kart, DS games. I used to love Pirates of the Caribbean, so Pirates of the Caribbean merch. Love you, Johnny Depp. But would you still invest in those items as passionately now? If so, that's great. It means you've held on to a core part of your childhood. But I would say just make sure that the time, money, and energy you dedicate to it isn't holding you back from improving your financial health. For kids, money is a commodity asset, like a Pokemon card or video game. In simple terms, a commodity is any useful or valuable thing. As teenagers, we use our belongings to express our individuality. Growing up with 3 sisters and being the second oldest, there was a lot of hand-me-downs circling through the household, and we got a little territorial about the things we loved, whether it was favorite t-shirt, favorite shoes. Even there was a favorite spoon in the house that we all fought over. I don't know if anyone else has had the same experience, but we begin to get possessive of the things that we enjoy, and that's what we invest our energy in. That's what we invest our focus in. And it's another symbol of trade. It's another symbol of money, of exchange, or lack thereof. And as we get older, money and property start to mean more than just buying or owning a t-shirt. Money turns into a tool for making deals, measuring worth, and handling transactions. It reflects our priorities and guides our economic decisions. We're making deals and we're handling transactions even in the preschool classroom. Sharing toys, sharing materials, inviting a kid to play with you. You're measuring worth of the interaction of a person. But a 3-year-old isn't thinking in those ways, but it's natural. You spend time and energy on money, things, objects, people that matter to you in your eyes. Our spending habits evolve as we age, revealing a deeper psychological and emotional motivation behind all of our purchases. So what is identity economics? Now don't get scared of that E word. In school, I thought economics was super annoying. My only memory of those classes is being talked at by my teacher in the voice of the parents in Charlie Brown. Only the real ones know. Identity economics might sound intimidating, but it's actually how our self-perception influences our financial decisions. How we view ourselves greatly impacts our income and the wealth we believe we deserve. It affects everything from how we dress to the salaries we negotiate or the prices we set for our services. Even our saving and spending habits are influenced by our self-worth, because your self-worth affects your net worth. Let me say that again. Your self-worth affects your net worth. Olympic athletes use mental rehearsal to boost their performance, and you can do something similar. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing yourself achieving that financial success you want. Imagine excelling at work, earning the recognition and income you deserve, and living your ideal lifestyle. I practice what I preach with my clients. I have sticky notes on my bathroom mirror reminding me of my strengths and areas where I need to forgive myself or show grace. I keep a bullet journal where I reflect on my qualities and the person I'm becoming. And at the end of each day, I take 3 deep breaths in bed, reassuring myself that I've done enough and I am enough. It's especially important in hustle culture to remind ourselves of this each day. We don't need to convince the world of our worth. Maybe the person who needs convincing is you. So you don't have to be a genius to know the relationship between identity and finances is complex and varies from person to person. Most people don't consider how their identity influences their financial decisions, and it shows. Think about how your identity combines cultural background, socioeconomic status, upbringing, self-concept, values, beliefs, life experiences, and more. It's tied into our emotions and self-esteem. Individuals who tie their self-worth to material possessions might overspend to enhance their self-esteem or fit in with the trends. I know I've been subject to it. I know I've fallen victim to it. I know others who are still falling victim to that. I love fashion. There's nothing wrong with staying up to date with the current trends, but I'm still not spending beyond what my means are just to fit in. But it took time for me to embrace that. It took time for me to find that self-security. Do you see your financial choices as reflections of your personal values? When you spend money on something, it highlights what you prioritize and value. Each choice you make says something about who you are and what matters to you. For example, if you value environmental sustainability, you might choose to invest in eco-friendly products or support companies aligned with that. On the other hand, if material possessions and wealth are your focus, you might get satisfaction from acquiring objects. But it's not our spending habits that just reflect our identity. Our overall financial situation, whether we feel secure or constrained, affects our self-worth, agency, and control in our life. Feeling financially stable empowers us to make choices and shape our future, while financial strain limits our sense of possibilities that we think we're capable of as people. As a fellow finesser, I encourage you to be mindful of the role money plays in your life. Money demands attention, and ignoring it leads to more problems down the road. Consider how societal expectations and cultural norms influence your financial perspective. Are you scrolling through Instagram, jealous of what you're seeing, feeling like you're not doing enough, feeling like you need to post your highlight reel? That pressure to keep up with extravagant spending or meet certain societal milestones of wealth and success distracts us from what truly matters on our personal journey. Self-exploration, self-reliance, self-identity. Have courage to be unique. Have courage to take a step back to reflect on your values and goals. Finesse plays a lead role in building our identity and money. As Jay-Z said, "Identity is a prison you can never escape, but the way to redeem your past is not to run from it, but to try to understand it and use it as a foundation to grow." Every financial choice we make is an opportunity to shape our future, break free from old habits, and build a more empowered connection with money. Developing any skill involves rewiring our brain's neural pathways. With intentional repetition and practice, we can reshape these pathways, creating new habits that better serve our financial well-being. We learned earlier that money isn't just about numbers. It's intertwined with our dreams, beliefs, experiences. Every behavior serves a purpose, and it all starts in our brain. Picture your brain like a complex network of roads, with neural pathways acting as the grooves where our habits travel. These pathways are formed based on our repeated actions and behaviors. When we do something over and over, like reading, driving, or even riding a bike, our brain cells communicate more efficiently through a process called neural firing. When we're scrolling through something, doom scrolling, neural pathways are being formed from that activity too. It's becoming the new norm. The activities we choose to do over and over strengthens the connections between our neurons, making those behaviors more automatic over time. Think about the actions you do every day that are repetitive. I know some people don't like living the same day over and over, I'm not saying that, but there are things you do each day that happen every day. Are those in your favor or against your favor of what you really want in your life? But here's the cool part. Just because we form certain pathways doesn't mean we're stuck with them forever. Our brains are incredibly adaptable, and our species would not have been able to survive this long otherwise. Those who set themselves apart, especially in changing their financial future, value adaptability. We make 33,000 to 35,000 decisions every day, from what we'll eat, to what we'll wear, what we'll say, and how we'll say it. Even choosing to stay in bed is a decision. You can't avoid making decisions, you can only control the ones you act on. And guess what? Not acting is an action. To master a skill and build those solid neural pathways, it takes about 10,000 repetitions. By consistently making conscious choices, we train our brains to create new pathways, and eventually, these new habits can become our new normal. Get up and go for a walk each day. Do 3 mindful breaths. Write down a value for the day. Write down a priority for the day. Brush your teeth twice a day. Geez. So what can you do to build a better understanding of yourself, your values, and your financial situation? It starts with facing those skeletons in your closet. Acknowledge and address those hidden fears and bad habits, and by consistently making mindful financial decisions like choosing to save rather than spend impulsively, you're not just improving your financial wellness, you're aligning your actions with your values and goals. It's tough at first, but with time and repetition, these habits become your new normal. Doing something different with your life each day is uncomfortable. If it wasn't uncomfortable, everyone in the world would have whatever they want. Embrace uncomfortability. As a clinician and wellness coach, I guide my clients through this transformative process. And with persistence and support, new habits become second nature in 3, 6, 9, 12 months. It depends on the person. It depends how open they are to that uncomfortability aspect, if they're really ready to embrace that. The psychology of money is complex. It shapes our sense of self, agency in life, and ultimately our well-being. Money is just a tool. It's what you choose to do with it that truly matters. That's all for today's episode of Finance, Fitness, and Finesse. I appreciate you for tuning in. Help me learn with you by subscribing, rating, reviewing, and reaching out with any questions you would like me to investigate. I'm JaeVic, wishing you a happy Friday and friendly reminder to keep dripping in finesse. See you on the Savvy Sunday Scholar for Part 2 of Money and Relationships with Shazay Roberts. And if you don't know, now you know. Disclaimer, this podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial or mental health advice. Always seek professional guidance tailored to your personal needs.